So I don't know if you have noticed, but there's been some pretty wild and crazy harassment over at the Hazbin Hotel area. And we're going to talk about it now. Michael Kovac, for those of you that don't know, is a voice actor that voice acted Angel in the original Hazbin Hotel pilot. And he also voice acts Jax from The Amazing Digital Circus. And dude got into a bit of hot water harassment and drama. Everyone that touches this project, literally, it never ends. It's insane. Also, there was another situation where people were claiming they weren't being paid enough for animation on Hazbin Hotel, but to be honest, what could I say? I'm a capitalist at heart. They agreed to the terms. They're paid by the terms they agreed to. Listen, whether it's a lot, whether it's a little, so many people have been... Okay, dude, just to cover the whole pay controversy, the wage controversy, people were complaining that they were not paid enough, but they agreed. And people took it out of context to make it look a lot worse than it actually was. So we're just gonna really quickly wrap that drama up in a whole freaking nutshell. It's not easy to be this based, but I am, unfortunately. So moving on. This one's uglier. The Michael Kovac Angel Dust drama.
Unfortunate situation regarding the newest Hazbin Hotel song Poison and the pilot voice actor of Angel Dust, Michael Kovac. The situation spiraled a little on Twitter, so I think it's important to have a chat about it and give my thoughts at the end as well. So, a couple days ago, the newest Hazbin Hotel song called Poison released. It was received quite well by fans, and it was our first time hearing Angel Dust sing since the Addict music video back in 2020. Blake Roman is Angel's new voice actor, and many people were praising his performance. Unfortunately,
So, here's the thing that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge. Voice acting is a very, very interesting place on the internet. Voice actors are not paid very well. And it's a bit of a boys' club. By that, I mean, a lot of people get a bad reputation for no reason in the voice acting community. And they're just blacklisted forever. Like, a lot of people that work with indie projects or fan animations in general, a lot of professional voice actors just instantly blacklist them and absolutely hate that they get any light shown on them. I'm going to be talking about this drama from a little more interesting perspective. I have a couple of things that I want us to say about this, but let's just start things off with the actual facts of the situation. Michael Kovac, the voice actor for Angel Dust, was switched for the professional Prime video stuff. So the songs are all voiced by, you know, the new freaking voice actor. Again, it's up to the showrunners to decide this shit, so good for them. But, oh god, did he get so much hate.
Were some people criticizing the new voice, saying it doesn't fit the character. Once the song came out, Michael Kovac made a tweet saying, "Before anyone asks, I will not be covering any of Angel's songs from the Prime series. Please respect that, thank you."
Which, again, 1,000,000% his prerogative to do whatever he wants. To be honest, I don't think he even needed to acknowledge this. I have a very interesting take when it comes to getting involved in drama on Twitter. That interesting take is, do whatever you want. You do not need to respond to every person that's asking you questions or prying into your life.
Basically saying that he won't be doing covers of the songs, since he's most likely been asked this question numerous times by fans. A little later, Michael did another tweet saying, "You don't have to put one person down to praise another," showcasing some tweets mentioning him. The first image shows a tweet.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
Saying, "Also Blake Roman killed it. Sorry, I fully support the recast. As much as I love him, Michael Kovac cannot sing." The second...
Why do you gotta hate on people for no reason? Listen, that's one. Two, these guys, they're dickweeds for saying this shit. A lot of people don't think that content creators or people with large followings can actually notice stuff. However, dude, that's not a good look. Posting your own hate comments, that's a really bad look. But I mean, I get it hurts. But dude, you gotta ignore this shit.
And says, "I love Michael, he's just not a good singer." And 10,000%, I don't get why people complain about Michael not being Angel singing wise. In Addict, his voice was heavily auto-tuned.
I loved Addict, by the way. Addict was fire. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Addict was awesome.
For Blake. And the last image says, "Michael did a great job in the pilot, but say it with me, he can't sing." After this tweet, some of the people who made these comments got sent hate. One user said, "Michael, I understand your feelings and I agree with your sentiment, but now these accounts are being found."
Nah, who cares if they get sent hate? I'm just saying. Again, another really controversial take. If you're gonna shit on someone on the internet and they fight back, but they have a bigger platform so you get hate, that is your cross to bear. That is your own fault. You started it. If you can't take it, don't dish it. But you have such a big platform! Tough noogies. You shouldn't have started anything if you couldn't deal with it.
And harassed. I agree some of these are mean-spirited, but you have such a massive following that risks these people's safety. Michael replied with,
"Oh, it doesn't risk anyone's safety, please."
Tweet is gone. He did a new tweet saying, I had to delete the tweet. I caught word that folks were being discovered and harassed, which I can never tolerate. Please, 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 please do not harass people ever.
Honestly, that's just very based. Like, it doesn't really need to be said. Sometimes people tell me when I'll make a video criticizing something or somebody, like, Nux, why didn't you specifically mention in your video not to send them harassment? Bro, don't send anyone harassment, you idiot. I don't need to tell you. I'm not your mommy, okay? Then I need to tell you, remember, don't commit war crimes, people.
I want to apologise to anyone who is harassed following my recent tweet. I censored the names and ads, but failed to consider profile pictures and reverse searching words from said tweets. I recognise that as a larger account, I need to be more mindful when referencing other users.
You probably should have ignored it, but once you say it, I don't know. I don't feel like this warrants an apology, really.
Tweets. He followed up with, to summarise my original tweet, please be mindful of what you post and who could potentially see it. Putting someone down in the same breath that you're praising another is hurtful. Criticism is good, so long as it isn't objectively ripping into another person for no reason.
Honestly, also true, but dude, it doesn't even pay to say. People on Twitter are just gonna hate blindly. Dude, when Epstein's documents were released, I got some guy with 20,000 likes on his tweet saying, oh, Nux is a pedophile, or something hilarious among those lines, which, I mean, what? Obviously I'm not gonna, there's nothing to respond to, it's just obviously false, but dude, you don't need to interact with any of this stuff.
Another one of the initial users he had quoted said, I'd like to apologise, Michael. What I said wasn't said in malice. I'm sorry I upset you. I never intended to. I definitely could have been nicer with my wording. I love your song as well as Blake's. I understand if you don't want to forgive me. Michael then responded,
very rare Twitter person actually seeing common sense. Wholesome.
but saying, everything is good between us. Thank you for reaching out. In response to this, both Silvahound and Sam Haft had their own responses to the situation. Silva was the creator of Addict, and Sam worked on Poison. Silva said, also, don't talk shit if you're not willing to have shit talked back. Oldest rule in the effing world, you immature mouth breathers. I don't...
Bro, based is crap, homie. That is so real. Yes, sir. Dude, if you're not willing to have shit talked back, don't talk the shit. Literally, the end. Period. God, these people are morons.
Have shit talked back. Oldest rule in the effing world, you immature mouth breathers. I don't give a F. Sam said, just preemptively gonna say, Silva and I are friends and worked together as recently as November. If you at either of us trying to frame Addict and Poison as though they're competing, neither one of us gonna be into that. There's room for more than one slutty spider song. No matter how proud I am of what we've done, I don't want to see it used to knock anyone else. Projects grow and change and people have strong opinions about that, but I got nothing but respect for folks who worked on the early stuff. It's a small world and most of us know each other. So that's all of the tweets documented.
Nice, very wholesome conclusion, I guess. Dude, what a stupid situation. Like, the fact that this even needed to become drama.
And discussed.
Ridiculous.
With that out of the way, it's time to get into my opinion. Overall, the situation was completely avoidable and didn't need to happen at all. There was no need for the Twitter users to...
It was avoidable? What kind of a conclusion is that, Mr. A. Lamau? Wait a second, you mean that people shouldn't actually just randomly shit on people on Twitter? That's an avoidable situation? Damn, now that you mention that, my eyes have been opened. That is so true.
To be so hostile. The comments that said that Michael can't sing is incorrect, because if you've heard his performances in Billy Bust Up, he's a wonderful singer. On the flip side, there was no need to see the Twitter users get harassed either. Some of them immediately regretted what they said, and some had to delete their accounts because of it. Obviously, none of this was Michael's fault, but this is just something that happens on Twitter if you respond to hate.
I don't know. I don't think we have the same take. I think that you're allowed to respond to hate if you want. And if they get hate, not that you told people to harass them, but if they get hate because you responded to hate, honestly, that's tough on them. I don't think you have to be such a nice guy. You have to be a nice guy to human beings, not Twitter people. Twitter people aren't real.
I think Michael was very mature in this situation, and I'm glad he was able to talk it out with one of the accounts. People said before that fans would have a hard time adjusting to the new cast, and it's unfortunately became a reality.
I'll give you an example for personal story time. I was at an anime con, and I met up with the voice actor there. At that point, I was voice acting in a bunch of abridges, like anime abridged on YouTube. And I was talking to the guy and I said, like, just out of curiosity, have you ever heard of someone that was voice acting in a abridged series? Did you ever hear of them actually getting a role in legitimate anime? And they said, people that voice act in fan projects will never ever be like us, okay? We our anime. They were making it very clear, I find you despicable. You claim to voice act, if you could call that even acting. Disgusting. Like, it's a really weird, self-centered club for a lot of people. Obviously, not every voice actor is like this. This was just one example. We then, we did autograph signing, and my line was like all the way out the door. And his line was just like a couple of people. And I was signing and like moving on. Like, I gave each person like 2 minutes to get to everyone, and he was giving each person like 10 minutes. And my line was way longer than his. I just say that as an example, not to flex. There's a semblance of jealousy there, I think, that just puts a bigger divide between the people that just voice act indie fun things on YouTube for fun versus professional voice actors who are criminally underpaid, by the way. It's just a really yucky situation. Because of that, there's just always been such a major divide between the professional voice acting world and like YouTubers.
Some users are unable to move on and are too attached to the pilot cast. It's understandable to have your own preferences, but it's a completely separate issue to bash both voice actors. Blake and Michael are both great voice actors, and like Michael said, you shouldn't resort to tearing others down to try and break someone up. The new Poison song was amazing, so I hope this hasn't ruined the overall fun mood generated by the new release. If you have any opinions on the topic or thoughts on what I've said, I'd love for you to leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.
Hell yeah. But if you wanted to see my favorite voice acting ever, oh, you are not ready. This is the greatest voice acting of all time.
What are you wearing that for? Oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands were getting on
True.
my nerves.
Preach, King, Queen.
So I changed clothes.
So based. So based. God, the way those lines just rolled off her tongue. Yes! So good. Because everyone speaks like this. God, I love how she speaks just like every other person. Now I support whatever side she is not on. Dude, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.